Good morning, students. I hope all are well. Previously, I shared one slide regarding to the unit number 2 about the individual mindset as well as the personality of the entrepreneurs. So, due to lockdown, it is not possible to continue the classes in the traditional mode, and JNT also instructed to conduct the online classes. So that's why all our faculties we recorded the classes and share it through the YouTube. So once we are going to enter into the unit number 3, that is the launching entrepreneurial ventures. First we are going to know about the unit number 1 and unit number 2. Why? Because it's a long gap we got. So in the unit number 1 we got the about the introduction about the entrepreneurship, that is who is entrepreneur, and where we are going to evaluate the entrepreneurship, the concept, and what are the schools of thought. There is 6 schools are there, and we classify into the 2 types, micro view and macro view, as well as we are know what are the characteristics of the entrepreneur and what are the myths of entrepreneurship, as well as 21st century trends of entrepreneurship and different type of approaches towards the entrepreneurship. We are learning in the unit number 1. And coming to unit number 2, we'll learn about the individual as well as the personal mindset regarding to what is the stress and what is the ego, and how we are going to overcome the stress and ego, and what is the dark side of the entrepreneurship, and motivational behavior, motivational cycle, as well as corporate entrepreneurial mindset, like that what is the nature of corporate entrepreneurship, what are the essentials of that, and how we are going to sustain through the corporate entrepreneurship. So this is the unit number 1 and unit number 2, which is prescribed by the JNTH. Now we are going to move how we are going to launch the venture. That means already we know that the difference between the entrepreneur as well as the business person or businessman is quite different. Entrepreneurs always think in innovative way and always is ready to take the risk to achieve a success. And once he got the idea, how he is going to convert the idea and how he is going to got the ideas. That means what are the sources of the ideas and what are the techniques to generate the ideas, and what is the meaning of the creativity and what is the meaning of the innovation, and creativity techniques, types of innovations, like that. So what is the gaps is going to find out. These are the things we are going to learn today's class. First we are going to move about what is the meaning of the creativity and what is the meaning of the innovation and what is the difference between the creativity as well as the innovation. Creativity is the ability to develop new ideas and to discover new ways of looking the problems as well as the opportunities. Now we are going to face the coronavirus, and officially we call as a COVID-19. Now most of the organizations come forward to offer the PPE kits or N95 mask, and recently today I read one news. IIT Delhi is make a prototype to test corona. That means due to those software technique, they are going to easily test with the corona whether got the positive or negative. So these are the things, and DRDO, Defense Organization and Defense Development Techniques, those people is going to develop the 23 technologies domestically and is ready to offer about the industries for the purpose of the production. And normally whenever any patient position comes in the critical, and we hear the word is ventilator. So the best the person put on the ventilator, and normally the cost around 3 to 4 lakhs, and modern it is going to reach about the 10 lakhs. And most of the people knows about the Mahindra and Mahindra or Mahindra group. So those ready to offer one ventilator that designed domestically are the price almost near to 10,000. That means 10 times less compared to the foreign ventilators. So these are the problems, how they are going to convert the problems as a opportunities is some of the examples relating to the creativity. Coming to innovation is the ability to apply creative solutions to those problems and opportunities to enhance or to enrich people's lives. Creativity is thinking new things and innovation is doing new things. So that is a slight difference. Creativity is thinking new things and innovation is doing new things. Entrepreneurs succeeded by thinking and doing new things or old things in new way. Having a great new idea is not enough. Transforming idea into a tangible product, service or a business venture is an essential next step. That means you have a good idea, but it not gives success. You have to convert those idea as a marketable idea. That means you are going to offer or you are going to convert those idea into the form of the product or service or the process, then only the people accept them. So leadership expert Warren Bennis says, today's successful companies live and die according to the quality of their ideas. So the modern business is going to continue based on the quality ideas what they are going to use, that will be decide whether they are going to success or whether they are winning from the market. Creativity involves generating something from nothing. That means we are going to always know that is a creative new things. Creative ideas springs from the most unexpected places. Sometimes we cannot expect, that is also one solution is there. Millions of people come up with creative ideas for new or different products or services. Most of them, however, never do anything with them. Edwin Land, one of America's most creative inventors, credits his 3-year-old daughter with the idea of the Polaroid instant camera. That means 3-year person, that means the 3-year-old person is given the one idea regarding the Polaroid instant camera, and the Edwin Land given credits to his daughter. Now, how we are going to identify different type of opportunities? It is another word, the search for the new ideas. Opportunity identification is central to entrepreneurship and it involves creative pursuit of ideas and innovation process. The first step of any entrepreneur is the identification of a good idea. The search for good ideas is never easy. Opportunity recognition can lead to both personal as well as social wealth. So what is an opportunity? An opportunity is a favorable set of circumstances that creates a need for a new product, service or business. So what is the difference between the ideas and opportunities? Not every business idea is a good business opportunity. You got the good idea, but there is no market, or there is a less availability or potential is there. Now we look at one example. You might have an idea for a neighborhood restaurant, but if that idea has no commercial potential, if it can't make a profit. It isn't a opportunity. If the public did not like the type of food you planned to serve, for example, the business would be doomed to fail. Suppose take the example. Most of the South Indians is prefer the rice. That is the reason when you are going to find out anywhere about the sorry, you are going to restaurants, lunch, chicken biryani, this type of things will be there. But once you are going to visit the North India, you are not available that much of frequency where available the restaurants in South India. Why? Because their food habit they are going to take about the rotis or chapati or other things. Ideas are a dime a dozen, opportunities have value. Ideas just take inspiration, opportunities need perspiration too. You can work on lots of ideas at once but should focus on only one or two opportunities. When dealing with ideas, it's okay to dream, to speculate. When dealing with opportunities, get ready to measure, to use the idea. Investors do not put their money into ideas. They always put the money into the where the opportunities are available. Entrepreneurship has become the fastest way of creating value and thus the fastest way to move upward in life. But this opportunity is unlike other opportunities humans had in history. Here is how you could create value before. Take the one example, the history of opportunity. So, starting you observe the picture, the first they are a hunter, later they are develop the agriculture, later they are trying to protect their kingdom, later they are going to develop the crafts, later they are going to explore, that means they are going to explore the new territories like Columbus found the America. Later they are going to sell, that means he become a merchant. Later they are going to merchandise and they develop the industries. Later in the year 1960s or 1970s they are drill the oil. Later they convert in the corporate companies and later they are going to invest into the other companies like the foreign direct investment, foreign institutional investments, and later they are going to convert as a startup founder. So this is a history of opportunities. So sir, example for your understanding purpose only. So what are the three ways to identify an opportunity? First one, observing the trends. So what are the trends going on? Take the one example, in the olden days, senior NTR uses the bell bottom points. So everybody using the bell bottom points. And in the film Kushi, Pawan Kalyan used one backpack. So at the time of all intermediate degree colleges, it's trend to use the backpacks of that time. Second one, solving the problem. So what are the problems faced by the society or humans? You are going to give a solution for that. Now everybody wants to develop the tika or vaccine towards the COVID-19. Finding gaps in the marketplace. So what are the gaps are still available in the market? So those things we are going to find out. It's not that much of easy, but because most of the inventions is already completed and they are trying to search new and always about the developing the process or developing the procedure or providing the new products or services. First we are going to observe about the first approach, that is observing the trends. Trends create opportunities for entrepreneurs to pursue. The most important trends are economic forces, social forces, technological advances, political action, as well as the regulatory change. It's important to be aware of changes in these areas. So economic forces are there, examples, social forces, technological forces and political forces. So most of the we call it the millennials, it comes under the 1980 to 2000, because 2000 we call it the millennium year. Generation X, that means new generation we call it there. So who are the people birth in the duration of the 1960 to 1980? So baby boomers from the 1946 to 1964. Second one is the solving a problem. Sometimes identifying opportunities simply involves noticing a problem and finding a way to solve it. These problems can be pinpointed through observing trends and through more simple means such as institution, serenity or change. Problem solving. Look at the slide in the next and solve the problem by converting into opportunity. So a problem facing is finding alternatives to fossil fuels, that is a wind power. So we call about the fossil fuels like we are going to get the fuel like a petrol or diesel or cooking coal. We are going to generate the power, thermal power. So to alternate that, one is the hydel power is there, but the time period is very less. To overcome that, next one, inventions or creators suggested that is a wind power. Still it is one drawback, it will take a huge place. So next another alternative is there is that solar power. We have the buildings or canals, reservoirs. So in that we can install the solar power. So the land, acquisition of the land also, the problem of acquisition of land also solved. So this type of things will be there. Where the problem is there, we are going to identify the opportunity from the problem as well as we are going to solve the problem. Suppose take the example, in the olden days the supply of power is not this much. To overcome the situation, Honda company produced diesel generators for commercial purpose, small shop purpose. And now later based on that, from the home purpose or domestic purpose, instead of diesel generators, they are going to use about the inverters. So first they take in storage, later whenever the power shut down, they are going to give back. But in the industrial purpose and big institutions, it will not practically possible. So what is the solution is there for that purpose? They are going to use the solar power. When is means of the solar power which they are going to store in the batteries? Normally in India we have sunny conditions most of the time, so it will give the power. A large number of entrepreneurial firms like this wind power are being launched to solve the problems of them. Another one is this is a problem solving process. First step, we are going to identify the problem. Second, we are going to expose the information and try to create the ideas. Next, select the best idea. Next, build and test the idea. And last one, evaluate the different type of results. And third one is finding gaps in the marketplace. A third approach to identify opportunities is to find a gap in the marketplace. A gap in the marketplace is often created when a product or service is needed by a specific group of people but does not represent a large enough market to be of interest to mainstream retailers. That means a gap in the marketplace is often created when a product or services is needed by a specific group of people, not for everybody. So how can you fill a gap in your marketplace? Suppose take the example, the evaluation of the generations of the mobile communications. So first is the 1G, next 2G, next 3G, next 4G. In Bombay, 5G under trials. In Japan, some of the modern countries, they are already using about the 6Gs. And why? So who are comes under the best based on the basic voice services comes under the 1G. Some CDMA or some of the data comes under 2G. Let's design for the data and speed comes under the 3G, and comes under here IP based protocols like LTE comes under 4G, and 5G 6 also, OTT also go into K. Next one is the sources of new ideas. How we are going to get the new ideas? So we can cover the information from the consumers. Most of the time we call it the marketing research. In that we are going to conduct the survey. What are the requirements required by the consumer? So based on the consumer's requirement, we can identify whether there is a possibility to offer or not. Next, the existing products and services. Next, based on the government regulations. Next, distribution channels. Next one is the research and development section. So I am going to give you one small example regarding to the products and services. In earlier, most of the people using about the Nirma washing powder. And at the time, most of the people use it to clean their clothes by their own, or any person they are going to appoint it. So due to the modernization and globalization and civilization going to increase, most of the companies offered about the semi-automatic washing machines and fully automatic washing machines also. Earlier stage, most of the people is ready to use the semi-automatic washing machine. So they use the normal powders, and later fully automatic washing machines is there. Most of the people, we know that there are the two types, one is the front load, second one is the top load. Based on these washing machine, there is a powders which is provided by the companies. Front load washing machine different, top load washing machine is different. And if you want to use the washing powder, some of the times the what do we call about those, some of the powders is still retained in the cloth. So to overcome the situation, easily mingle with the water, the companies offered about the liquid. So here what happened? The same washing powder from the older days is going to convert in the form of the liquid. Now the most of the companies offer in the washing powder liquids. So easily mingle with the water. So what are the ways we are going to generate the new idea that we call about the methods of generating new ideas? Even with such a wide variety of sources available, coming up with an idea to serve as a basis for a new venture can still be a problematic. The entrepreneur can use several methods to help generating and test new ideas such as focus groups, brainstorming, brainwriting, problem inventory and analysis. So there is a 4 or more are there, but most of the people is consider these 4 methods or consider as a generating the new ideas. Focus groups, brainstorming, brainwriting, problem inventory as well as analysis. So what are the focus groups? Groups of individuals providing information in a structured format. For generating new ideas, the focus group is an excellent method for initially screening the ideas as well as the concepts. The group of 8 to 14 participants is stimulated by comments from each other in a creativity conceptualizing and developing a new product idea to fill market need. One company interested in the women's slipper market, that means Especially they are going to provide slippers or footwear to women. Received its new product concept of a warm and comfortable slipper that fits like an old shoe from a focus group of 12 women from various socio-economic backgrounds in the Boston area. Most of the people maybe know or doesn't know. Nowadays we are going to use different type of slippers or footwears, but in the olden days there is only one thing is it, that is paragon. Paragon. So maybe female or male they are going to use the paragon. Now due to the present modern tech days, women also go into workplace and they require their different type of footwear, and now there is a separate footwear available for women purpose, even the shoes and sandals and everything. And who are going to why or how the companies identify the women's require separate footwear? So due to some of the 12 members of group, they are given the one idea. So in the Boston area, then the starting of the women's producing of the women footwear. Next concept is brainstorming, a group method for obtaining new ideas and solutions. I think in our class also we conducted one brainstorming session. So normally the brainstorming session is once you got the abnormal situation. That means in a class normally there is 60 students are there, and we ask for some of the ideas. So starting initially we got so many ideas in the fast manner. So once the ideas were returning, so all ideas completed, then we are going to start the thinking in a different way. So that session we are going to call as a brainstorming session, gathering the different ideas. It is based on the fact that people can be stimulated to greater creativity by meeting with others and participating in organized group experience. The characteristics of this method are keeping criticism away, free wheeling of idea, high quantity of ideas, combinations and improvements of ideas. Such type of session should be fun with no scope for domination and inhibition. Brainstorming has a greater probability of success when the effort focuses on specific product or market areas. Brainwriting. It is created by the Ben Roach batch in 1960 and named Method 635. It is a written form of brainstorming. Brainwriting is a silent written generation of ideas by a group of people. The participants write their ideas on special forms or cards that circulate within the group that consists of usually 6 members. So if time permits, once the reopen of our college, we are going to conduct one brainwriting session also. So this is the method 635 form. So what is the problem statement here and how to you are going to solve? Idea 1, idea 2, idea 3. So round 1, round 2, round 3, round 4, round 5, round 6. So your ideas means you are going to get the 6 multiple with idea 3 is 18 ideas you are going to get that one. So each group member generates and write down 3 ideas during a 5 minutes period until each form has passed all participants. The leader monitors the time interval and can reduce or lengthen the time given to participants according to the need of the group. Problem inventory and analysis. A method for obtaining new ideas and solutions by focusing on problems. This analysis uses individuals in a manner that is analogous to focus groups to generate new product ideas, However, instead of generating new ideas themselves, the consumers are provided with list of problems and then asked to have discussion over it, and it ultimately results in an entirely new product idea. So, the four methods we are going to generate the ideas, that is focus groups, brainstorming, and brain writing, and last one is the problem innovation.